Hey guys, David Putty here, and like many of you I'm sure, I love watching videos from content creators like Sparkles where he spends ludicrous amounts of money to attempt to craft a #1 float rank skin.
I'm nervous, I don't want to do this, I don't want to press this button. 9% is not great. This contract cost me about $1,500. Let's do it. Send you good vibes my way. It's time. It is time. I'm gonna have to close my eyes as well because I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I feel my heart growing already. 3, 2, 1. Please go no. Please, 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 please. Let's go! No way, bro. No way. Once again.
I was always curious to know just how difficult it would be to craft a #1 skin, and so, like usual, I decided to make a spreadsheet to answer that question and figured I'd share it with you all. As I'm sure you can guess when you hear Sparkles talking about selling a #1 skin for thousands and thousands of dollars above market price, they're not easy to craft. I made a spreadsheet resource and have a link in the description of this video, and this will let you quickly and easily see how doable a #1 skin would be to craft. I wanted to keep this video short, so let's quickly walk through the steps for how to set it up. I actually made this spreadsheet a while ago and had completely forgotten about it, but a couple weeks ago I saw this tweet from Morocco talking about Sparkles picking up the #1 ranked FAMAS from the Anubis collection. I wanted to see if Sparkles was going to be able to beat his own #1 M4A4 Eye of Horus with the new FAMAS pickup, so I pulled up my spreadsheet to check it out. First, what you want to do is use the drop down to select the skin you want to craft the #1 float for. In this case, we're looking for the Eye of Horus. Next, jump over to FloatDB and search for the skin. You can change the category if you're specifically looking for stat track or non-stat track, and it'll be sorted by low float by default. Copy and paste the float value and then jump back over to the calculator. You want to paste that float into cell C7 in the current #1 float field. I right click and use paste without formatting, but that's just to keep everything clean. You don't have to, I'm OCD. Now you can see the average input float we need with our trade up for the new #1 Eye of Horus would be 0.000125 or 4 zeros and a 1 2. Now if you already have a very low float skin from that collection, like the #1 FAMAS that Sparkles picked up, and are wanting to see what the rest of the floats need to be in your trade up, this is how you do that. So if you own the skin, you can obviously just grab the float from your own inventory. Since we're not big ballers like Sparkles, we'll head back over to FloatDB and grab the float for that #1 FAMAS. Then we'll head back over to our spreadsheet and update the 2 remaining fields. We put a 1 here because we have 1 skin from the Anubis collection. Then we paste that float we just copied from FloatDB, and there we go. We can see that for our remaining 9 skins we'll use in the trade up, our average float needs to be 0.000137 or 4 zeros and a 1 3. One thing I wanted to quickly clarify was in step 4 where I mentioned using the average float of the skins you have. Obviously with the example we just used, since we only had 1 input skin, we just copied the float directly into cell C12. But if we have more than 1 input skin from the #1 skins collection, there are 2 quick ways to get the average float. First would be to simply add the floats together and then divide by the number of skins. The other way would be to use a trade up calculator tool like from TradeUpSpy. With this, all you do is copy the floats from your skins and add them to the calculator. So we'll copy the floats from #1 and #2 FAMAS, both of which are owned by Sparkles. Although I'm not sure if he's already traded up the #2 FAMAS, that might have been used in the current #1 M4A4 Eye of Horus trade up. So if we have more than 1 input skin from our desired collection, we'll enter the number of skins first, and then paste the average float from those skins. Now we can see that the average float from the 8 filler skins we'd need would have to be less than 0.0000142 or 4 zeros and a 1 4. That'll wrap up this quick video though. Hopefully this calculator will be helpful for any of you that have the means to actually attempt #1 float trade up. But it is also fun to see just how impossible it would be to beat certain #1 ranked skins. With CS2 out, I'm going to try and get back into making content a little more often, but I have said that a few times now and haven't been able to get back into it consistently, so who knows. But as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.